What's going on? We back. Goodfellas Sports TV. Yeah, I'm doing the morning stream again. I had time this morning. I had to wake up, so might as well get it in. We can get it in there. You feel me? So, basically, I'm talking about the biggest problems in the sport of boxing. Part 1. May get up tomorrow morning and do part 2 if I got to wake and shake. So, salute to everybody out here, man. Definitely appreciate it, man. And one thing that kind of brought this up for me was that the the Jared Hurd and J Rock situation, bro. Like a lot of people are like thumbsing up that fight, saying, "Oh, that's the fight. I'm glad to see that fight and stuff of that nature." I'm not happy for that shit. I don't want that fight. Once again, what's going on, Corey Lee? What's going on, Quan? I see Lil Quan working. I'm gonna have to get down there, bro. My brother, he moved out down to Florida, so I go visit him. I'm gonna come out there and check y'all out down there, boy, for sure. Lil Quan getting it in, but yeah, I don't want that fucking fight. You know, for all they can go to hell with the whole division, bro. Unless Jared Hurd gonna fight Jaime Maguire, I can give a fuck two less about that division, because that's what's wrong with boxing, bro. You know, the fans are the number one problem with the sport of boxing. And I can go a little bit deeper. For a long time, a lot of us, we blamed. Yeah, I'm gonna let y'all know when I go down there. Should be before the summertime. But around that, Heath 45, Ronald Gomez, what's going on? The Working Man. Um, I'm not subscribed to this YouTube channel. Well, I don't know. Bye. Get the hell up out of here then. Fuck up out of here, dude. These niggas some weirdos on YouTube, bro. Bye. Some weirdos. But yeah. But yeah, I remember, like, I don't even know where I was at, bro. But I can't. Where the fuck I was at, man? I'm still sleepy. Um, But yeah, like a lot of people was blaming Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Cotto Marquez for holding up the sport, but them motherfuckers wasn't holding up nothing. These dudes just some punks, bro. That's just straight up and down, man. I don't care about. I respect anybody getting in the ring, not in this generation, bro. It's a lot of dudes that don't deserve that respect, for real. Like nigga, I didn't, man. A lot of us done been in street fights. Like the fuck, it ain't no real fucking difference, bro. That's even more dangerous because you got to worry about a nigga pulling a strap on. I done had niggas pull gauges, gats, all types of fucking guns out on me. All right. So don't tell me about risk, because every day I step out my door in Brightmoor, Detroit, Michigan, nigga, I take a risk. You know what I'm saying? Every time I walk to the store or stop at a gas station after midnight, I take a risk. You know what I'm saying? And these dudes ain't taking risks. They own, and everybody don't see it though. Nobody sees this shit, man, that they doing. Everybody accepting it because they don't know the history of boxing. And boxing has never been this timid and this pussy like, bro. And a lot of these dudes out here, man, it's too many coons out here, man. For real, in boxing, it's too many. It's too many coons out here, bro. A lot of these dudes, and dudes is borderline coons. A lot of these dudes think they still gotta beg these Mexicans for these fights to make money. Look here, man. A lot of these brothers can fight each other and make money. A lot of this shit is mind state, bro. A lot of this shit is mind state. Do you want to be the best, or you don't want to be the best? And a lot of these dudes, their ambitions is not to be the best. Real talk, a lot of these dudes don't want to be the best. And I wish they let them be known, because if the majority of them is on a certain network, I won't pay for it no more, bro. Real talk, I won't pay for Showtime. I won't pay for the ESPN Plus app. I damn sure I'll never play for the Zone. But it's just too much of that shit out here, man. And what really pissed me off was the J Rock and Swift Hurd fight. Like niggas like, oh, I don't want to see that fight. I'm not saying I don't want to see it, but that's not on my wish list. They had one job to do at junior middleweight, and PBC couldn't do it, bro. They had one job to do, and that was make Charlo and Jared Hurd. That was the only thing they had to do. They could have salvaged their whole year. You know what I'm saying? They had one job to do, bro. Cool Man said, man, what's going on? Kurt Sugar, what's going on? I seen y'all live stream on the Greatest White Fighters, man. I'm gonna fight you over Willie Pep, bro. I'm talking shit. But they had one job to do, bro. One job to do, and that was make Jared Hurd and Charlo. Because we know Errol Spence and the rest of the gang, Sean Porter and Keith Thurman. Look here, man. I'm gonna be all over the place on this one. This ain't even gonna be structured, bro. They scared of Terrence Crawford, bro. No, none of them niggas won't fight Terrence Crawford. I'm just keep it real. Now, personally, I'm not one of the biggest fans of Terrence Crawford personally, but I call a spade a spade. Don't none of them dudes want Terrence Crawford. And I'm telling you the God honest truth. This is what I heard from my own ears. None of them dudes want Terrence Crawford. Now, they can hide behind the excuse that he on the wrong side of the street, but I'm telling you, from the horse's mouth, they don't want to fight Terrence Crawford. Okay? Bomac ain't lying. At first, I think Bomac was boosting, bro. Bomac ain't lying. They don't want to fight Terrence Crawford, bro. I'm telling you, like Derrick James, he don't feel Earl Spence is ready. You already know K. Diddy. All right, Keith Thurman, he ain't even a topic of discussion, bro. But they don't want to fight that man. Just as Jared Hurd didn't want to fight Charlo. I told you guys that. It ain't like, damn. You know, remember when I don't know who it was for John Jones, but somebody had lost. He was supposed to fight somebody, and somebody had lost. He said, well, I lost a lot of money tonight. I think it was Anderson Silva. He had lost, right? Anderson Silva lost, and he said, well, I lost a lot of money tonight. Woo, woo, woo. Like Jared Hurd don't even feel that type of way. You know, he happy like, whoo. You know, hope Tony Harrison beat Charlo again. He never wanted that fight, bro. Never. Never wanted that fight, bro. He never wanted it. And anybody can argue me up and down. That man never wanted that fight. It's a relief that Charlo got beat. It's a relief. He's far more comfortable fighting a guy, Tony Harrison, he already beat, even though Tony Harrison was beating the dog walking shit out of him, but got tired. Jared Hurd just is a big, strong junior middleweight. He matches up well with a lot of junior middleweights, but it's always somebody you don't match up that well with. And that was for Charlo for him. He never wanted that fight. You know what I'm saying? Now he can just let his nuts hang and do, just make money. It's all about making money. These dudes, you can see the instant switch in Jared Hurd. So once he got 500,000 versus Lara, like it probably made over $1 million though. On the back end, he probably made some good money. I won't say $1 million at the Hard Rock at Las Vegas, but as soon as he made some good money, that nigga changed. Oh, we the A side now. I'm like, oh, here this shit go. Like money do change people. I don't believe that. Money do change people. I don't believe nothing else. He said I went back on my list but put Whip tied for fourth. Okay. Money do change people. I know I get some money, nigga. I'm in a totally different mood. I'm a totally different mood. When money funny, like most men is, like nigga, like we plotting on how to get that money. So if you ain't got no money and it change your mood, and it change everybody's mood who ain't got no money. Who money funny and money low, you plotting on how to come up, or you plotting on how to pay that bill. Like we all been through the struggle, bro, for the most part. So you telling me if you get a bunch of money, you ain't gonna change? Yeah, you're gonna change the way you move. You're gonna change the way you act. Look at Tavern Farmer. That's exactly how the average nigga gonna act. You're gonna go fuck all the hoes that didn't want to fuck you before, or try to play you, or act like you want shit. You're gonna change the way you move. Trust me. Trust me, you're gonna change what you eat at. You ain't gonna eat at McDonald's no more. You're gonna be eating that. You're gonna be eating that motherfucking Benihana's, or you're gonna be eating at Taco Bell no more. You're gonna be eating at a real Mexican restaurant. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna change the way you move, and that's just a natural fact. But these dudes is touching. They didn't even touch it with Sugar Ray Leonard made, bro, and they just totally flipping the script, bro, like for real. And it is what it is, man. Yeah, he stopped Trout. Salute. Yeah. You want a cookie for that? He stopped Trout. What else you want to do? He got a style that can stop Trout. Good. But let's not change the fact that he was losing the majority of all the rounds until the last two, until he knocked Trout out. He has a clear size advantage, bro. And only two guys in the division can match his size advantage is Charlo and Jaime Munguia. Those are the only two. And that's a fact. You can say whatever you want to say. You can cap for him, whatever you want to say. At the end of the day, he did not want the Charlo fight. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. Canelo struggled with Floyd Mayweather. Madonna did way better than Floyd Mayweather. Styles make fights. Stop being a fucking casual, bro. Styles make fights. Would you say Would you say Madonna is a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez? No, you would not. You would not say he's a better fighter than Canelo Alvarez. All right, then. These dudes don't understand style make fights. I ain't got time to give no boxing lesson today. Sweet science salute. Styles make fights. Jared Hurd got the perfect pressure style. Charlo is not a pressure fighter. He's acting as a pressure fighter, but that's not him. But then again, he can do that versus Jared Hurd because Jared Hurd don't have no defense. He can't get away with that versus Tony Harrison. Tony Harrison can box. Jared Hurd cannot box. You see Jared Hurd attempt to box versus Justin Wellborn, and it not go so well. So at the end of the day, Jared Hurd is what he is at this point in his career. It's no changing. There's no going back. He's a guy that relies on his size advantage, his height advantage, and resides on his pressure and his power. That only takes you so far in this game. Margarito, Golovkin, Chavez, it takes you so far. If you don't have that extra dimension, you know, you could be a great fighter with that style, but if you don't have that extra dimension, you won't last. Or you won't be the greatest. Can't be the greatest with that style without extra dimension. It's proven. You have to box. Roberto Duran wouldn't be mentioned as one of the greatest fighters of all time if he could not box. He would not moved up lightweight, welterweight, junior middleweight, middleweight. He couldn't have moved up that high. Neither could Tommy Hearns go up to cruiserweight without knowing how to box. And Jared Hurd has no adjustment. His adjustment is you get tired, I'm bigger than you, I'll walk you down. That's the only adjustment that he makes. But you blame the lack of fundamental body punching on why a lot of guys get beat by Jared Hurd. A lot of these dudes go to the body, they probably have a better chance at beating them. But hey, that's a lost form of art. But the problem with boxing is the fans and the media. You know what I'm saying? Especially the media, bro. Mayonnaise Nation media and Mayonnaise Nation media in my town business voice. Yeah. They rationalize everything, bro. You know, they pick and choose who they want to say, who they want to do stories on, who they want to back. And at the end of the day, it ain't like the majority of America reads, you know, these articles anymore, right? It ain't like the majority of America follows Mike Copperinger. It's not like the majority of America go read Ring Magazine. It's not like the majority of the world or America reads the boxing scene. Nobody cares about that shit, okay? More importantly, the vloggers got the juice. You know what I'm saying? The YouTubers got the juice. More people watch YouTube than people read them articles. Trust me. Them articles don't get no real traffic. But then again, they push this narrative out here. They the ones that get these credentials and ask these stupid ass questions. You know? They the one out here that's fucking the game up as well. Oh, it's a great fight. That's not a great fight, bro. I'm not, nah. You know, it ain't no great fights. Not this far. Pacquiao and Broner, come on, man. Who paying? And they said it ain't $75. Okay, $65, $70 HD Steven Espinoza. But these dudes don't want to fight nobody, bro. For real talk. And then they don't want to fight. They don't want to fight. Yeah, people don't like reading. I love to read, bro. As I got older, I cherish reading. It's better than actually watching a movie. A lot of the novels are better than the novels turned movies. That's real. That's actual fact. It's an actual fact. I mean, I didn't believe that when I was older, when I was younger, but I believe it now that I'm getting older. You know, so a lot of people don't want to read. A lot of people can't read, man. Real talk. A lot of people can't read. You know, man, they have vision problems. A lot of people got vision problems. These kids need glasses. A lot of people don't know. Like, trust me, I didn't work with kids before. A lot of these kids can't read. A lot of these adults can't read. So a lot of these people, man, real talk, do so now salute. A lot of these kids, man, go a little bit deeper. They failed before they even got a chance, bro. Before they came out the womb, they was failed. That's why it's important as men out here, handle your responsibility, bro. Real talk. You know, I'm gonna say you this, man. I'm gonna get back to boxing. All right. You know, it's hard when you got a kid on the way. I can only imagine, bro. It's hard, especially if you're young. You don't know how you're gonna provide. But the worst thing you can do is pretty much leave that girl lonely, let her raise her by herself. Don't be there for the pregnancy. Trust me, it's gonna work out. You can ask any OG out here that went through that process. Trust me, yo, actual natural, whatever the fuck they call it, is gonna kick in. You gonna make that bread. You gonna take care of that kid. That's the worst thing you can do is walk out on a kid. Kid deserves a 2-parent household, at least 2 parents. Real talk, they deserve that. And you're a failure. If you don't provide that. I know, baby mama crazy, but guess what? Think about it before you put your thing in there raw, or before you have sex in general. You gotta think about that. Think about it. That's the biggest investment you about to make in your life. And you stuck with somebody for a lifetime. You and a woman have a natural bond for a lifetime if you have offspring. But but yeah, back to the topic, man. But like for years they were saying Pacquiao and them held up Floyd, Cotto, Marquez held up boxing. A lot of guys was protecting their because they wanted the Floyd and Pacquiao fight. And I'm like, all right, I believe that, you know what I'm saying? But when they pretty much got out the way, you know what I'm saying? Like, why didn't these dudes get the thumping? And I think a lot of us owe Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao an apology. Now, they wouldn't be able to walk back in the game and cherry pick a Broner or cherry pick a Conor McGregor or Tension. Well, I won't say Tension because he wasn't on the record, but they wouldn't be able to cherry pick the game. They would have to come see the winner at welterweight. You know what I'm saying? They should have been half fought. But they can get away with cherry picking a Broner and cherry picking this guy and that guy, because guess what? Ain't nobody fighting each other. And for the most part, I don't give Mikey like credit, like big credit for moving up and fighting Errol Spence. I don't really give him credit for that because he should have fought Lomachenko. And if Lomachenko truly ran, and then I understand it, okay? But they should have made that fight with Lomachenko. And I understand that it's politics involved in it where, you don't want to work with Bob Arum, and pretty much it should be on Mikey Merritt because Mikey got more juice than Lomachenko, because Lomachenko fighting at the theater room, we're doing like 6, 7, 8, 9, probably not even 9,000. Mikey fighting at the Alamo Dome. Now he fighting at Dallas, Texas Stadium. He didn't win East and fought at the Barclays Center. I think he had fought at Madison Square Garden early in his career. So I understand that Bob Arum is a tough cookie to crack, and it ain't going to change once you get up out the game, okay? Todd DeBuff is still going to be a tough cookie to crack. That's just what the facts are. Truly, they like putting on their fights on ESPN, just like PBC like putting their fights on Showtime and Fox, and that's what it is. But all this division, like if a lot of people, I don't know how long everybody been watching boxing, but if you go back about 10 years, man, when everybody was on HBO, Top Rank, Al Heyman was still there. He was working with Golden Boy, Richard Schaefer, and Oscar De La Hoya. You had Kathy Duva popping her head in every now and again. Lou DiBella was over there. I can't remember, was it Ken Hirschman or Steven Espinoza was pretty much running HBO at the time, one of the two. And it was a Cold War. It was a Cold War on the fucking network, bro. We called it the Cold War. And me, Clarksville Sports TV, we were we still was covering boxing back then in a totally different way. But it was a Cold War. It was division on HBO. Al Heyman and Bob Arum didn't make fights, and everybody else wasn't really making fights, right? So they pretty much blame Al Heyman because Al Heyman was getting his guys the top dollar on HBO, and pretty much, Berto really nuked HBO for a lot of money. So long story short, they leave, Golden Boy, Al Heyman leave, go to Showtime, they run out the contracts, but they act like Bob Arum wasn't the problem. They outed the black guy. Jay, like, what's going on? They outed the black guy. What's going on, the Quan Gates and Super Chat? Salute to my brother CJ. I got that Dak jersey for you, bro. I'm straight, bro. I don't want no Coon Boys jersey. You gotta stand when the national anthem, you wear that jersey, but they going down this weekend. They might beat the Rams. I don't know. I'm picking the Rams. I don't care. I'm picking them lambs. And then we eating lamb chops after the game. Me and Todd Gurley. But to go back to it, but there was division. So basically they outed Al Heyman. All right. Then, obviously several years later, they found out that Top Rank was a problem and they outed Top Rank, right? Golden Boy came back. But it was division on the network. So at the end of the day, it just never was like ESPN, Showtime, The Zone, HBO. Like it's been division. Like we called that shit the Cold War. We called that the Cold War. Real talk. It was division on HBO. A lot of people don't remember because they didn't cover boxing. I've been covering boxing longer than a lot of these dudes on YouTube been on here, man. Trust me. All these new dudes that just popped up in the last couple years, man. I've been covering that shit, man. Like tough. You know, tough. So a lot of them dudes have been getting money. Yeah, Berto milked them. So they say, all right, bro, get the hell up out of here. And they finally figured out that Top Rank was a problem too. Once Top Rank left HBO, they never came back because they had put Terrence Crawford and Victor Post out on pay-per-view, and that was the beginning. That was the end. They wanted to work with Lomachenko, but Bob Arum was like, he was already mad. Big mad. So at the end of the day, they got rid of the wrong people. Top Rank wasn't making no fights with nobody else, the big fights, so they pretty much got rid of Top Rank. So for people blaming the networks, it ain't been a network. It didn't start off as a network thing. Everybody was on the same network. It wasn't a network thing. It was a plain and simple thing of a lot of testosterone. Everybody wanted to be a boss. Nobody wanted to budge. Nobody wanted to compensate, or compensate nothing. They didn't want to compensate nothing. So everybody, was just two on their high horse, and nobody wanted to really, submit to nobody else. So at the end of the day, you got a whole bunch of old men that stuck in their ways, and it didn't happen. Yep. Yeah. Pacquiao took that money from Oscar and Top Rank sued, but Oscar De La Hoya went back and kissed Bob Arum's ass. He did, because you remember that, because he came back after his Devil's Dandruff addiction, and he came back and kissed Bob. He kissed Bob Arum's ass, and that's when Al Heyman had started running out them contracts. So it ain't a network thing. Trust me. This is all personal right here. This is all power players or people that act like they're power players, not wanting to just say, okay, I'm gonna be the bigger man here. Let's make this fight happen. That's just what it pretty much boiled down to. And when you go down to the media is basically saying every fight is a great fight. They basically, with the fans taking it as we get it and just trying to glorify every fight. But I mean, last year we didn't really have a lot of great fights. Lauren Hurd was like, a really, really good fight. I mean, Jack and Stevenson was a good fight. Goswick and Stevenson, we had some good fights, but we're not having the fights at the rate we used to have them back in the day. I mean, when the last time you seen a Sugar Ray Leonard versus Rafael Benitez, two good young fighters really fighting and pretty much going on to have really good Hall of Fame careers? When have you seen that? When have you seen Tommy and Sugar Ray Leonard? You don't get that, because you don't get that with Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford is getting ready to retire. He's old. He old, and they just trying to age him out. And before they age him out, he'll retire. He'll retire. So you're not going in boxing. You may not never get the 21 or 20 to 25, two really good fighters banging it out, or fighters in their 20s alone. You might not ever get fighters in their early 20s, champions really banging it out. You may not never get that. Now you got these young killers coming up: Stevenson, Bridger Ortiz, Lil B-Hop, Teofimo Lopez, Devin Haney, Mick Collin, Ryan Garcia. You got these guys coming up, so it'll be interesting. Jaron Ennis, the other Gary Russells. I don't know their name, all their names, the middle names, but you got all these different guys, young Gary Russells and stuff coming up. So maybe it's some hope, but right now, I mean, it's over with, because if you look at the situation, you go Mikey Lomachenko. I think both of them in their 30s. You go Gervonta Tank Davis, Lomachenko in his 30s, I believe. Tank just turned 23, 24, right? So that ain't, they can say Lomachenko old. You go Wilder and Joshua, both Wilder in his 30s. Anthony Joshua was 29, approaching 30 this year. You go Golovkin, Canelo. Canelo, what, 27, 28? Golovkin, 35, 36? Come on. Now we got YouTubers trying to create another code. It will never stop. Otherwise, we won't get the best fight. Yeah, it never stop. You never stop. What's up, Nate? Salute. You know, but you got all the, you know, you're not gonna get these young fighters banging it out, man. Even if the Haney and Shakur Stevenson wanted to fight, or Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia wanted to fight, they'd never let it happen. They got too much invested. It's too much invested in both of them young fighters. They're gonna wait till it makes the most money, and by that time, I think one of them can get knocked off. You know, so it's, you know, the marinating process. That's just real popular in boxing. That's another big problem with these dudes over marinating fights, and it don't even need to be, man. A lot of these dudes you gotta have for Ray Leonard to get what he got. I mean, you know, it took Benitez, it took some other, you know, fights, you know, to build where he got up. But Benitez was that fight, but he still didn't get the respect from the fans like that. People still didn't respect him after fighting Benitez. So he had to go fight Duran to get that respect, and Tommy Hearns. And once he did that, and a lot of fighters don't, I guess a lot of these fighters don't understand their history. But once he done that, he had fought those three, or continue to fight that level of competition, then Sugar Ray Leonard was able to go on to make 10 million back then, was probably like 20 million now. He was able to go on to make 10 million because he had fought tough competition. You know what I'm saying? That's what these dudes got to do. But a lot of times, man, Ray Leonard was young. You know, it's over for a lot of these guys. Sean Porter, Keith Thurman in his 30s. Like right now, how are you gonna go on and have the legacy Ray Leonard had, you know, or anything close to it? Because, you know, what Errol Spence should be doing right now is fighting Crawford, fighting Thurman, fighting Porter, moving up to the next weight class, starting his legacy. He supposed to be at 154 starting his legacy right now. You know? He's supposed to be at 154 pounds starting the legacy. Shit, Keith Thurman supposed to be at 154 starting the legacy. Keith Thurman got under 30 fights, man, and been pro since what, 06? Yeah, I don't want to quote. I think they was. Hearns was 22 and Leonard was 24 when they fought. You know, that's Tank age. You know? But if Tank fight Lomachenko right now, people could claim that Lomachenko old. People claim that Golovkin was old. So, I mean, even Wilder, you can make the case that he old for Anthony Joshua. He 30 what? 33, 34, 35. The only fight you say that you couldn't make that case was for Kovalev Ward. Ward was 31, 32. Kovalev was 33, 34. Right in there. But they was old. You know, by boxing standards. That wasn't the best Andre Ward. And the only reason that wasn't the best, I mean, you could say that's the best Kovalev, but Kovalev, I believe, came over late. So you're not getting those. Like, you got, man, what they don't understand is this, man. And it started that shit with especially when Mayweather started promoting and shit like that. And I think it started when Al Heyman and them came in the game. That they was just really, really not trying to make the best fights. They was trying to build these dudes up. But if you look at it, you're gonna wait 10 years in your career to finally have a fantasy fight we want you guys to have. Like, your window is smaller. You know what I'm saying? Your window is smaller. Like, when you wait till your 28, 29, 30, which most of the welterweights is right there, Crawford 31, to have no fight, what else can you go? Because you got multiple welterweights that can move up in weight. Sean Porter was at 154. He moved down. Errol Spence could have turned pro at 154. He came down. Keith Thurman was at 152 in the amateurs. He came down. You know? So they supposed to fight years ago. Yup, you got to have a dance, but they got dance partners, to be honest, Naquan Gates. They got each other. Sean, Keith, and Earl, they got dance partners. Jill Hurd, Charlo, that's the only dance partner he really need. Because I mean, we ain't trying to fight him. He ain't trying to fight him. They got dance partners, man. If Gervonta Tank Davis ain't gonna be fighting Lomachenko, and I like Tank, well, you need to be beating the fuck out of the other champions. It's no need to be fighting Abner Mares. That's your fault that you took off all last year and you was getting in trouble and overweight. You need to be going to fight Burchett, Ito, but they babysitting Gervonta Tank Davis. They babysitting him. Well, he only 24. We could wait about 4 or 5 or 6 more years, and ain't nobody got time for that, bro. I'll get out of here, bro. Go get your life. All right. But like I said before, man, that's another thing that's going wrong with boxing is marinating. You know, a lot of these dudes, these bigger promoters and bigger managers, they got too much pride, man. And I can't speak on Al Heyman, but he seemed to be willing to work with a lot of different people. He's worked with more people than anybody else of recent note, but it ain't like he gonna shortchange Terrence Crawford. But it's like a lot of these people don't want to submit to a black man. They don't want to admit that Al Heyman is running shit. Now we all know he running shit. He got the most successful shit on PBC. It's not a promotional company. It's more of a management company. He's the most successful dude in boxing going right now. You know, and Bob Arum, you know, he from that old place where them NFL owners come from. He from that place, all right. He from that place where he ain't gonna submit to no black man. And that's what Eddie Hearn did. You know, Eddie Hearn act like he wanted to work with Al Heyman. Kell Brook came over and got a title. You know, they was working together. His other fighter, McDowell, had beat up Kamada. That's one of Al Heyman fighters. He was working with Al, just as Frank Warren is now. And all of a sudden, he turns on him. He bites the hand that feeds him. Now he come over here talking he want to take over America. And now he getting his ass kicked. When he go home, he gonna get his ass kicked as Al Heyman and moved into the UK. They can't stomach that a black man, you know, they basically working for a black man. That's what it is. You know, that's what it ain't. They working with him. He the one that's drawing up the money, drawing up the plans, getting fighters paid. Because it ain't the case that he come over here and he shortchanged fighters. He don't. Anybody that came over here to fight Al Heyman, fighters got paid. A lot of them got career high paydays like Demetrius Andrade, but pulled out because he was a bitch versus Jamel Charlo. And that's a fight he probably would have won. Mike Tyson was undisputed at 21 years old, lineal champion at 22 years old. I'm saying, man, you look at these dudes. Look how old these dudes is, man. Crawford is like 31, 32 years old. Golovkin was 34 years old or 35 years old when he first stepped up. Oh, salute L5 player. Salute. JMJ 21. Danny Jacobs needs to step up and beat Charlo, Canelo Boo before they keep aging him. Yep. Naquan Gay said, you right. They just don't want to fight, and that's why we can never get another Leonard Hearns or Leonard Hagler Hearns. Exactly, bro. I'm telling y'all, man. Look at the ages of some of them older fighters. They was all, and a lot of them were accomplished amateurs, and a lot of these guys are accomplished amateurs. Only guys that's not accomplished amateurs are Wilder, which you can say he accomplished because he won a bronze medal, but I mean deep amateur background. Wilder, Joshua, Jared Hurd didn't have a deep amateur background. And Anthony Yard didn't have a deep amateur background. And Adonis Stevenson, praying for him. Hopefully his rehabilitation go well. Out of those, they're the only ones I can say that really didn't have the deep background. When you talk about David Benavidez, Haney, they turned pro at 16 over in Mexico. David Benavidez was a dude that was walking around at 340 pounds. 340 pounds, David Benavidez. You know? So, you know, and you look at it, the young fighters, they want championships like Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. They want titles right now. Now, do I feel like they're ready for titles? No, but I'm not the only one that share that sentiment. Anton, salute. I'm not the only one that share that sentiment. It's the promoters. They never let them dudes go run. You think they're going to let Shakur Stevenson run to fight Josh Warrington when the majority of the division about to move up? No, they're going to wait till somebody don't have that belt. It's vacant. They're going to get Shakur Stevenson an easy title shot. Same thing for Ryan Garcia. Did you know David Benavidez is fighting on the Yeah, I knew that. He's fighting Jalen Love. Shout out to Lawrence Williams for that video. I didn't know it before he did the video. Is Lopez the one beefing with Haney? Yeah. He out here lying. He said Devin Haney said he lied. He said that he basically was beating the fuck out of him in sparring. But they go on and on about sparring. You know what I'm saying? They go on and on. Cool Man said like a few fighters are cool with getting a few million for a fight, so continuing the path of retirement. Exactly, that's what it is, bro. And when these dudes going to the Boxing Hall of Fame, bro, I'm like, nope, them niggas ain't the same before them fighters that went into boxing I say 2009, 2009 and back. And I'm probably a little early, but I say 2009, 8, 7 on back that way. Anybody that came after 2010, man, I pretty much look at them funny, bro. Real talk. I look at them funny. A lot of them dudes that came in 6 and 7, like Mikey, Earl, Keith Thurman, a lot of them dudes, I look at them funny. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, I'm a kick game here, man. Before I go into Q&A in a minute, I'm a kick game. I respect Marcos Madonna, more than any active fighter right now, other than Pacquiao. I respect Marcos Madonna more than a lot of these dudes. Because Madonna was fighting like killers. Madonna was fighting killers. Because remember, Madonna started off at 35. And he didn't even have no real skill. So he was just fighting niggas off of just brute strength and power. Madonna is more of a Hall of Famer than anybody in boxing for me right now that came before, that came of recent note. Because I put Madonna over, even with his losses, I respect his losses, even to Khan and his loss to Floyd and whatever other losses he had. He might have some losses I'm forgetting. I respect his career more than any of these dudes out here. More than Wilder, more than Joshua, more than Usyk. I don't care if he never was lineal champion. I don't give a fuck. He fought the tough competition. Lowland Prophet, salute. Sweet Science TV, salute. Y'all go subscribe to Sweet Science. So, even Canelo, I respect Madonna's career more. Obviously, I respect him more than Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Madonna went out there and went to go get it. It wasn't just the Brawner fight. It was the Ortiz fight. It was the other tough fights he had versus Eric Morales. People forget about that nasty fight he had. Morales had a little left in the tank then. Amir Khan, like dude was fighting killers. He was fighting killers. If you told anybody at if you told anybody at that point that, remember, he was at 140, man. I think a lot of people would have thought that Kotelnik, and I don't know what happened to Kotelnik, Anywine Urango probably would have ended up being a better fighter than Madonna. Because at that time to go off into some kind of ancient history now, 140, that was the greatest era in 140 as far as just talent, because you had Hope, Madonna. I think Nate Campbell was at the end of his career then. You had Hope, Kotelnik, Madonna, Juan Urango, Devin Alexander, Timothy Bradley, Lamont Peterson, Amir Khan, Victor Ortiz. You had Lucas Matisse still coming. He was still bubbling up. You had him. That division was like, man, like, dude, that division was like, dude. And you got some fights that happened there. You had Bradley and Kendall Holt that happened. Well, Bradley went over to get the title from Junior Witter in the UK. Bradley and Kendall Holt happened. I don't know if you ever seen that fight where Kendall Holt slept Bradley and his leg was twitching on the canvas, and somehow Bradley got up. He recovered and beat the hell out of Kendall Holt. I mean, you got Bradley, Lamont Peterson that went down on Showtime. I remember vividly watching that fight. I think you had Bradley and Kendall Holt that ended in a technical draw or a no contest because of head. It was one of them damn fights with Campbell. I think it was Bradley. Eventually you had Bradley and Devin Alexander. You had Victor Ortiz, Lamont Peterson. I think Ortiz actually won that fight. I was watching that fight with some girls, and they thought Peterson lost. Peterson got dropped like 3 or 4 times in that fight. You got a lot of them dudes had fought each other. Amir Khan, Zab Judah still was hanging on. He had fought Zab. Amir Khan had fought Madonna. He beat Madonna. He dropped him with a body shot. You also had who else you had there that had fought? You had Danny Garcia that was coming up. He had fought Kendall Holt on I think it was on somebody pay-per-view undercard, but he had fought Kendall Holt. He had fought Zab. He had fought Morales. You know what I'm saying? He had fought Khan. That's kind of when he took over the division. So a lot of them dudes a lot of them have fought. A lot of them have fought. A lot of them dudes was young. That was probably like the last generation of fighters that had legitimately, majority of them had fought each other. And at the end of the day, we didn't appreciate how great that division was because it was pretty much the norm. All them guys was young, for the most part, other than Hulk, Campbell. They wasn't that or Zab, but Zab kept reinventing. So you had Zab versus Matisse. You had Devin Alexander versus Matisse. I mean, shit, they all had fought each other. Dr. Blick, what's going on? They all fought each other. That's how the welterweight division was. In the welterweight division, they don't even have that many people. I just named about 10 or 11, 12 fighters that was at 140 pounds. Back then, all of them was there. All of them was there. Cattell nigga probably be a champion right now, bro. Cattell nigga probably be a champion. You had killers. The World Boxing Super Series couldn't even, they wouldn't have enough fighters to put everybody in. They wouldn't have enough fighters. I just named about 12, 14 fighters, bro. That was amazing. That's the last time I can remember a whole division banging it out. Now Amir Khan and Timothy Bradley never happened because Timothy Bradley ran from that fight. Let's keep it real. I remember Amir Khan called him a bitch and Timothy Bradley just walked away. No, that was before then. That a lot of them dudes probably was coming up, but he had got beat by Ricky Hatton. I think that was the end of him. That was before then for the most part. Unless he still was hanging down as an old fighter. But that was before then. Kasazu and Ricky Hatton, that was before them dudes got there because Ricky Hatton after that, not too long after that, had fought Floyd. And that was like what? That was mid-2000s, something like that. So no, Kasazu should have been gone by then. You know what I'm saying? So all of them had, I don't know, I don't remember the previous champions that they had all fought. But I do know Timothy Bradley had beat Juan Urango, beat Peterson, and then I don't know around the timeline, but he had a technical draw with Nate Campbell, okay, or whatever technical no contest, whatever the fuck they call it. So that was, I mean, that's how the welterweight division happened. And then in the welterweight division, you don't even have, you got 4 fighters, and Sean Porter shouldn't even be considered. Sean Porter shouldn't be considered. Because nobody respects Sean Porter as a title holder. Nobody respects Sean Porter as a title holder. Sean Porter is just a dude that's there that say, oh, he got a title. I want Errol Spence to have that title. What's going on? Punchline pugilism. Khan wanted the Bradley smoke, but Bradley talked all that shit about Top Rank, then signed with them after was promised to Pacquiao and played it safe. Exactly. He said he didn't know anybody at over at PBC. So that was his excuse. You know. So yeah, man. So that's kind of like the poster child of who was right with boxing. Because them dudes didn't have a care in the world. They all fought each other, some lost. And you know, Devin Alexander lost to Tim Bradley. He moves on to beat Madonna. Madonna moves on to get Robert Garcia, got better. He ended up getting a Floyd Mayweather fight. So, I mean, when did this old shit really really move in hot? Real talk. Because them 140 pounders didn't care about no O's. You know what I'm saying? All of them had fought and lost to each other, beat each other. Only guy that really left there unscathed, was Danny and Timothy Bradley. For the most part, everybody else lost. But hey, that's when boxing was good and we didn't even appreciate it. We didn't appreciate that. But those were the generation fighters before, Spence came. That was way before Spence got there. You know what I'm saying? Mikey was still coming up. Dude, I mean, what happened? You got to go back in time and look at what happened. None of them niggas was worried about a Floyd fight. Well, Amir Khan years later. But the rest of them weren't worried about no Floyd fight. Everybody was getting it. Everybody was going out there. That's when money was funny. You had to go out there and earn your keep. You had to go out there and fight 3 or 4 times a year. Crazy. A lot of them dudes, a lot of these guys probably didn't know some of the names I said, but they were some really good fighters. Even Juan Urango was a really tough fighter. Junior Ritter was a really good fighter. Really good fighters. And then you just look and see what the fuck happened. These dudes was banging it out. But hey, you talking about the problems in boxing, man. We need that mentality back, man. We need that mentality. They didn't care if they won or lost. These dudes went to go get it, but today you got guys like Jer Hurd and the rest of these dudes bullshitting around. You got welterweights that's bullshitting around. I mean, come on, let's keep it real, man. Is J Rock versus Jer Hurd a fight? Now I want to answer in the comment section. Is J Rock versus Jer Hurd a fight that you really, really asked for, or you really, really want to see? Will you really pay your money to go out to the Barclays Center and see that fight? Unless it's a great undercard on the card, I would say no. It's kind of was a letdown when Charlo got beat. You know, because I'm not looking at like, oh, Tony Harrison and Jer Hurd can fight. I like Tony from the D, so I'm just looking at like it was a lost opportunity. And I want everybody to get upset. Anybody that's bullshitting around, I need them to get upset. You know what I'm saying? Now, if they want to pull that shit, they lose and go into hiding like Danny Garcia and don't want to fight again and don't even want to fight once a year like Keith Thurman and Sean Porter, so be it. So be it. I don't care about seeing J Rock, man. Like I said before, J Rock a good fighter, bro. But he can't punch. This is a bad stylistic fight for him. It's a tune-up. Remember he said I need to tune up versus two right-handed fighters? Now everybody trying to glorify it as a tough fight. No. How can you say you're gonna tune up versus two right-handed fighters? Now everybody want to glorify the tune-up as a big fight. Please. We know J Rock can't punch. So eventually he could be outboxing Jer Hurd, but we all know what's gonna happen. His defense is not good enough. Jer Hurd should go in there and beat him up. Now Jer Hurd injured his shoulder or something like that. So be it. Well, I care if Jer Hurd win or lose. I obviously don't care. I don't want the brother to lose. I don't like J Rock. I don't like Steven Bredman. I don't like that squad over there, man. You know, you go into history and they tried to play the victim role versus Jamal Charlo. We can go into some ancient history here. They tried to play that victim role versus Jamal Charlo, right? And basically what happened was that for some reason that fight got stretched out. I don't know if it was that Charlo had fought Trout, but it got stretched out. It got delayed, right? The fight got delayed. And I think the delay was that Charlo was honestly considering Jamal moving up in weight because he couldn't make the weight no more, okay? But he got a medical exception from the IBF for his eyes. He was legally blind, so he got lazy. So eventually the fight happened. Steven Bredman came out, and I don't know why these dudes don't sue more. Or maybe they just don't read the articles and don't hear it. I don't know how you can't hear it. He came out and basically said that Jamal Charlo was bullshitting around and keeping the fight from happening because he was flushing steroids out of the system. And he came out saying that. Then J Rock's lead up to the fight was coming out, getting personal about Jamal Charlo, running his mouth, saying, you a bum, I'm going to beat you. He getting personal, right? So, and these are all facts, okay? I followed that fight very closely. So, they arguing. Well, they arguing, and Steven Bredman and J Rock is really on the front foot and really blasting Jamal Charlo, saying he a cheater, saying he ain't that good. They going to whoop him. Now, after the fight, we all know what happened, right? Jamal Charlo knocked him out. Was it 5th, 6th round or something like that with an uppercut? He dropped on the uppercut, then he finished him off. After the fight, they want to say, well, we tried to get VADA testing and they wouldn't do VADA testing. So they tried to play the victim role. But for one, J Rock chose to get personal with Jamal Charlo. And I can't exactly remember what he got personal with. You know, what he got personal with. But he tried to go over there and shake Jamal Charlo's hand like, no, Jamal Charlo, like, man, get the fuck out of my face, bro. All that shit you was talking, like, dude, we don't do that, bro. Like who do that? Like, at some point, even though you fight and you gain respect for each other, at some point you took it too far personally. You know what I'm saying? And what you saying wasn't true. So then the crowd booed Charlo, and that's when the Charlo twins became the villains. But nobody knew the backstory. So really, they got vilified for something majority of real niggas would do. Like you don't just sit there and really assassinate my character, assassinate my Coach Ronnie Shield character, talk all that shit, get personal, and expect me to shake your hand. No, nigga. Even after I knocked you out, like get the fuck out of my face. And people don't know J Rock was running that trap, like talking a whole bunch, and then his team, they got mad and they started hating. Like real talk, them East Coast dudes, bro. Them New Yorkers and all the Providence, Rhode Island, whatever the hell Boo Boo from, they got the hating tough on Errol Spence and Charlo's after that. But what's so ironic about it, and you can throw Danny Jacobs in there as well. What's so ironic about it is they always snack. They all in bed with Victor Conte. They all do snack. So are you surprised now that Victor Conte go out there and say and go out there and he blasting the Charlos, he blasting Errol Spence? It don't change because his own little snack people been doing that for years. And Stephen Bredman to get out there, and I see him out there support Mikey Garcia, and I'm like, what? And then I seen J Rock was with a snack. I said, okay, I see what this is. I see what this is. Okay. So at the end of the day, I don't respect that camp. So yes, I do have a personal vendetta against them because they whack for that. They whack. They whack for that, bro. I don't respect that, bro. You know, you want to call out all the black fighters and stuff, but you don't want to keep it 100 with the other fighters. Man, I call you cooning. Exactly. Conte giving his clients free promo bashing. But then you got what's homeboy out here? The white YouTuber, Montenegro. I can't stand that nigga, man. I can't stand that. I can't stand Mayo Face, man. I can't stand homeboy. I can't stand him, dude. I can't stand that dude, man. And I don't even follow that dude. You know, if you go on Twitter and somebody posts something and they show you that somebody else posts, I don't know, it show you somebody else that they like they post. Dude's a clown. He's a clown too. He and that Stevie Come class of people too. You know what I'm saying? They go out there and say, "Oh, this guy did that," and they won't say shit about the other guys that's doing the same thing or doing worse. On top of that, Andre was signed to fight Jamil. Then he pulled out. He want to show up at the press conference like he want to smoke. Yeah, he showed up with the other Charlo. He showed up with the other Charlo. Yeah, y'all got questions. I answer questions right now. Any questions y'all got, I answer them. So if y'all got questions, I do Q&A. We keep going through. That's what started all. Hold on. Somebody had a good question. Hold on. Let me go up. My bad. I'm gonna go back to your stuff in a minute. He said, Jay Thomas said that's what started the Charlo hate because he wasn't willing to shake J Rock hand after all that personal shit he was saying. He's scared running. He on steroids and then got to knock the fuck out. Exactly, bro. Dave Richmond said Errol Spence claimed he wanted to fight the best, but talk like Keith Thurman when it comes to Crawford. You can't be the boogeyman talking about taking the easy route. Exactly. And people don't see it that way. People don't see it that way. Like dudes talk about Errol Spence every day. Talk about Wilder every day. Talk about these dudes every day. You know, but they fail to skip over little things that they say like that. And I'm saying, I told people, I said Terrence Crawford, the real boogeyman. I said it months ago. People got mad. People flipped up. You know, the Errol Spence fanboy club and the Errol Spence clan, the ES clan. You know what I'm saying? Got mad, but it's true. He don't want to smoke. And I told people like this wasn't nothing I was pulling out thin air. Derek James was quoted by a few people saying that he didn't want Errol Spence to fight Terrence Crawford. They thought Crawford is the truth and Crawford beat Errol Spence right now. Bo Mack is not lying about that. That's facts. You can hear in his tone when he came on that talk show, man. You know, and he tried to, you know, I want to clean up my side of the street and this and that. And then homeboy tried to twist it like, we got the real boogeyman in Dallas, Texas. Like, no, you don't. That nigga over there brainwashing niggas with that bullshit, man. That nigga is scared of Terrence Crawford, bro. His team don't want that fight. He can go and beat his chest all he wants to. They don't want that fight. They aging Terrence Crawford out. That's why Floyd came out and said, we not doing that right now. Because they already know. We might not look at it like, man, Errol Spence run through Crawford, but they ain't looking at it like that. Coolman said the whole time on drive, more scared than the other fighters are Charlo. Exactly. What do you think about Danny Jacobs gonna do? He gonna sign with the Pilgrim. He gonna stay with Eddie Hearn. They gonna overcompensate him and come to the zone. I don't think Danny Jacobs gonna come over back to PBC and fight. I don't think he gonna come back to PBC and fight. Charlo. I don't see it happening. He gonna stay on his own and get a bigger bag. I really do feel that way. Where can I find that interview? I keep hearing that Derek James said that, but I can't. It ain't no interview. It ain't no interview. It's an interview. Said it. Not what I said. It ain't no interview, but it's an interview. Him saying on the Boxing Voice. Just type his name in on the Boxing Voice. It's the interview saying that they ain't doing a fight. It was at the Barclays Centers for the press conference. I think for Charlo and Harrison and Charlo and Korobov. But what I'm talking about is behind closed doors. He said it. They said it just like he don't want that fight. And if you ask anybody in the boxing world, everybody know that like the majority of the fighters and the insiders, they know this. A lot of them feel that Terrence Crawford will beat Errol Spence easily. A lot of people feel that way. I didn't know that, but you talk to people and you rub shoulders with people and people send me stuff. A lot of people in the boxing world that fight trainers, they feel like if you really ask them off air, they'll pick Terrence Crawford. I mean, like I'm talking like 70-80% of real boxing people will pick him. What do you think about Mikey seeing Eric Spence? I honestly don't know. I just think he see a guy that's not gonna box and move and be elusive, and it's a guy he can be able to hit. That's the only thing I can think about. It's a guy he can be able to hit. It's a guy he see that don't have that much experience. A guy that got 6 years less pro experience than he do. A guy that's fairly green, started boxing at 15. So I think he see a guy that's less experienced than him. Same thing that Abner Morris and Gervonta Tank Davis. He see a guy that's not that experienced. I think Abner Morris is more serious about beating Gervonta Tank Davis than Mikey is, but that's just something I'm getting from a human field, from a survive field. I think Abner Morris really think he could beat Gervonta Tank Davis. I don't believe that, but I get more of authentic feel. Mario, bro, you on some BS. I'm no fanboy of any Spence. Definitely not scared of Crawford. You want to. Like I said, bro. I stand by what I said. I'm not going there. I stand by what I said. And anybody call you a fanboy, so unless you got a burner account, you somebody else. Well, nobody call you a fanboy, so you feeling a little guilty. Like I said before, I stand by what I said. He came out and said, Floyd said we're not doing it. Earl Spence came out live on that talk show and said, oh, I'm cleaning up my side of the street. This is after Earl Spence started this, okay? And I don't even want to make this stream about this, but this is after Earl Spence started it. Earl Spence stated that Bob Arum all smoking mirrors. He ain't gonna give me Terrence Crawford right now. He got up there talking that bullshit after Sean Porter, Danny Garcia fight at the press conference, and he indicted himself. Then he come Bob Arum and said, well, let's make the fight. Even though we know Bob Arum probably was up on some bluff shit, he said, let's make the fight. Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence Jr., they can make the fight. You know? At the end of the day, they didn't make the fight. Oh, no, we're not doing that right now. I'm cleaning up my side of the street. Like I said, man, read between the lines. Y'all know this nigga don't want to fight Crawford, bro. They wait for Crawford to get old, man. He waiting for Crawford. He said we not fighting Crawford this year. You had Derek James say it on the Boxing Voice in person, not on phone. He said it on the Boxing Voice. Then you had Tim Smith or Tim Shaw, Al Heyman Boxer come out and say, we not doing that this year. They're not fighting them. And how can you look here, man? Real shit. Okay, Mario. How can you even talk about Terrence Crawford when Earl Spence can't even get Sean Porter, Keith Thurman? It's a good chance he's not even gonna fight them this year. But I'm moving on. Samuel Crouton, what's going on? Floyd even said Crawford remind him of old him, pretty boy version. Yeah, Crawford a bad motherfucker, man. Bernardo to a salute. Stuff. Brian Pearson said, I think they are looking to make a mega fight with Crawford, but I think you have to build it up. You do have Thurman on PBC, you have Garcia and Porter. I mean, how much can you build it up, bro? I'm dead ass serious. I How much more can you build it up? These dudes are almost in their 30s, bruh. Big Money says a nigga down the street from me. That's number one amateur. He sparred Spence and Bud, and he said Bud better, but I still think Spence beat Bud. That was interesting. Yeah, it's that. When you say better, Big Money, when you say actually better, it depends on the style. Styles make fights. Some guys might be able to deal better with Spence coming forward, and they cool with taking the pressure and boxing moving. Some guys, I remember Sergio Moore had a very interesting quote, and I think this is one of my favorite quotes of this era. He said that I think he was talking about in Golovkin. He said, "If I can hit you, I'm not scared of you." He said, you only really get scared of a fighter that you can't hit." I thought that was really, really interesting that he said that. Because it makes sense. If I can hit you, I got a chance. But if I can't hit you, I really don't have a chance. No matter how big of a punch or how small of a punch you are, if you can't hit a guy, I think that's one of the most debilitating, vulnerable states you could be in a place in life. If you're in a square circle and you got opponents that you can't hit, and he can hit you, it's bad. TJ, watch the way he defends the front hand. I think that's what he sees in Mikey. That's what Mikey sees. I ain't even broke down film of that fight yet. I gotta start breaking down film for Broner. I ain't gonna break down film for Pacquiao Broner. I watched Pacquiao Matisse. Other than that, if you join the Patreon, the link in the description, I'm gonna drop that Pacquiao breakdown prediction early on Patreon. I'll probably drop it today or tomorrow early. So you're gonna get I'm supposed to drop it next Monday. So you probably gonna get you only get 4 or 5 days early access for the breakdown. And the Patreon only $2 a month. And if you want, I'll move the Food for Thought and Hood Series and other, current event, pop politic talks, hardcore shit to Patreon for $5 a month. But the boxing tier is only $2 a month. So yeah, y'all go check that out. The link in the description. A young Ray, if Crawford can take Spence punches, it will be a back and forth action. Could be. I don't even think it's gonna be that close, to be honest. I don't. For some reason, I don't think that fight gonna be that close. I don't know why. Is Spence pressure to fight Crawford? Does he make the fight this year? No, they're not. They said they're not fighting him this year. They're not fighting. They said they want Spence to fight Mikey, and then Al Heyman want him to fight Pacquiao. But I heard Floyd Mayweather might come back and fight Pacquiao. So I don't know where Spence go. I think Omar Figueroa, John Molina winner. Then he probably fit in 3 fights in this year. He said Bud was real aggressive. Yeah, Bud is a jack of all trades. I think Earl can box. I know Earl can box, but Bud is different, bro. Bud is wired different. But it's too bad that I'm hearing he may retire from. I heard that multiple times, even before Bo Mac dropped that article yesterday on Boxing Scene. I did a video on, but I think Bud might retire unfulfilled. I think he may retire not being able to really show what he can do. But that's what happened when you sign with Bob Arum and boxing politics get involved. But it is what it is. Yes, their styles make fights. I'm riding with Spence, but let's see. Yeah, I still think Spence is gonna win just off top, but that's real talk 90 salute. I don't know, man. I had to really look at film and get a better look at Crawford and get a better look at Arrow. I think they're gonna progress a little bit more. But I stand by. I don't think that fight can happen. If Spence can get Thurman or Porter this year, he needs to fight Bud at the end of the year. No excuses. Yeah, but I'm telling you, he's probably going. If he can get Pacquiao, he can happen. But he need him and Spence. If him and Terence Crawford don't happen this year, and then in the first part of next year you don't see him fight Sean Porter or Thurman, I don't think it's gonna happen at all. I'm telling you, some of these dudes gonna get upset. He sees that Spence leans, and with his chin exposed, he throws the left to the body. Mayweather and Whitaker used to break their opponent's spirits because of their defense. That's true. Yep. Mikey sees a big paycheck and Spence now. His family see it. Cliox. Lewis Hinton, facts, I wish he would get away from Bob. That's harder. That's easier said than done. Bob had him contracts wired up. Yeah, he signed for 5 years, 3 fights a year on average, I think. 3.5 minimum. So, you know, I mean, he probably just tired of that shit, man. It's hard to get up, go to work every day. You ain't making a difference and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's basically, man, it's basically like getting up every day and you failing every day. That's what it sounds like. You know, you failing because you're not really meeting your goals. You're not going out there beating the best. And also, you got the media that's basically saying that you ain't fighting nobody, and you really out there trying to make these fights happen. But these other guys don't want to fight you. You know, that's just what it is. So they really believe Bud is the truth, man. I'm telling you, a lot of these dudes don't want to fight Terrence Crawford. I don't know what he done in the gym, or whatever, but a lot of these dudes is saying, I'm telling you, there's multiple people, bro, that I'm talking to that they got a lot of clout. A lot of these dudes feel that Bud Crawford is going to easily beat Errol Spence. And everybody talk about power. It ain't about power. It ain't about power. You know what I'm saying? Mayweather was beating niggas without power. It's about boxing ability, man. And a lot of people think Bud is a better fighter. Man, I did a video about Madonna coming back, but that's the last video I'll drop, man. Man, he looked big. Now, if he had slimmed down a little bit, I'll take him serious, but money must have got funny. I hope not Crawford is need to keep the pressure on PBC big dog. But it's hard, man. It's hard. You wake up every day to train, and you ain't really ambitious. You feel like you're failing every day. You waking up fighting Amir Khan and Ingus and Boost Putin. Like, dude, like I want to unify, and I'm ready to get the fuck up out the game. Crawford had already moved up 3 times. You know, he didn't unify the division. All he got to do is solidify himself as an all-time great by beating one of the PBC fighters, preferably Errol Spence. That's all he got to do. I think financially, he not living above his means, and I think he gonna have a job with Premier Boxing Champion. I know with Top Rank for the rest of his tenure. So he gonna be paid. Him and Bomac already working the fighters, you know, working the fight, so he'll get paid. Lewis Hinton, I think he's special. I've watched Bud make so many adjustments. He has a lot of tools in the bag. That's scary. Yep. Punchline Tuesday and Bob ain't going to let him retire. His ass going to be fighting in the Philippines. I think he gonna retire, but I don't think Bob cares. Bob don't care what Terrence Crawford do. He care what Lomachenko do. So if he retire and they retire, they retire. I mean, he's 31 going on 32 this year, so you know, he's secure. I don't think he's living above his means. He's still staying, you know, around the Omaha area. You know, he got a couple cars. He ain't got no real expensive car. It looked like he's doing right with his money. And when you a family dude, you tend to do right with your money more than not. You know, got his girl. You know what I'm saying? You know, he living his best life. He ain't moved out to California. He ain't got a house in Miami, a penthouse in New York. He ain't got a house out in Cali or a house in Vegas. He the same nigga. Like you can't get mad at Bud other than he's sensitive. I don't say a little. He big sensitive. But you can't get mad at him. He never switched up. So his money right. You know what I'm saying? His money right. And if your money right, you can retire at 31 years old or 32. Salute. I like Spence, don't get me wrong, but I support the brothers. But Brooke was beating him until his face gave away. He was getting outboxed. Something is wrong with Bob. Floyd got the hell up out of her. And Oscar. You know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, Gamboa was boxing up Terrence Crawford too. Every dog has his day. Everybody, once you fight certain people, you fight. You got to look at the adjustments Errol Spence made. I think Errol Spence was just trying to step the pace up on. He was trying to step the pace up on Kell Brook. I think he had a plan and it worked. But hey, it'll be interesting to see the battle with the corners. You know what I'm saying? It'll be interesting. I really don't know how good of a corner man Bomac is, and the rest of the coaches, and you really don't know how big of a corner Derek James is until you get into a big mega fight, or I just call it. It ain't really a super mega fight right now, but in a big fight like that, I want to see the adjustment that they make. Do you think Crawford took easy way up like Mikey did? I noticed when he fought Gamboa, he rehydrated to 154. Yeah, this dude could have been at welterweight. I won't say he took the easy way up. I mean, he didn't have top rank support. You know, Crawford only been with Top Rank for 15 fights. So before that, he was with a smaller promoter, not getting noticed. So I don't say. I mean, pretty much when he out there fighting for a couple bands a night, I say he had the hard way up before he got with Top Rank and started making six figures. He had the hard way up. So anytime you got to go out there and you got to be a sparring partner for Timothy Bradley and the rest of these dudes just to make ends meet, I think he had the hard way up. You know, Mikey the one that had the easy way up because he had Top Rank supporting him. Damn, that Snowden fell quick than a motherfucker. Damn. Something must be wrong with Bob. Yeah. Errol Spence is and has become more of a fan favorite, but I want to see the fan put pressure on Spence like that's AJ or Thurman for Crawford Spence fight and see if he makes the fight. Exactly. I definitely agree with that, man. The reason Errol Spence is a fan favorite is because pretty much he got a big state in Texas behind him. You know what I'm saying? He got better promo behind him. It ain't that he talked better than or talk better or more than Errol Spence. He just got the state of. I mean, Terrence Crawford come from Omaha. Now, if Terrence Crawford was from, Detroit, Philadelphia, New York, DC, I think he'd have a bigger support, or Vegas, or even at some points in California, some part he have bigger feedback, or Texas, he have a bigger fan base. But Errol Spence has got this cult-like fan base. You know what I'm saying? And if he does lose to Terrence Crawford, I want to be there to see it. I want to see the videos, man. I want to see videos. I want to see a whole bunch of crowd. I want to see if dudes is going to shut their channels down because I believe that's what's going to happen. I think a lot of dudes going to stop talking boxing, start talking other shit because that happened with Pacquiao, Mayweather. It happened more often than you see. A lot of these dudes, they ain't going to have the same passion to talk. A lot of these dudes got into boxing because of their favorite fighter, the fighter in their hometown. I think a lot of these dudes is going to retire from YouTube or start talking some other shit. They're not going to have that same passion. This shit reminds me of Pacquiao Mayweather. A lot of people built their channels on Pacquiao Mayweather, and then when Pacquiao Mayweather was done, a lot of these other shit, they died off. They didn't have no subject matter. Especially these dudes that talk about the same thing every day. Wilder, Joshua, Errol Spence, Wilder, Joshua, Errol Spence, Wilder, Joshua, Errol. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. When that come to pass, win, lose, or draw, a lot of them dudes ain't gonna have nothing else to talk about. They ain't gonna have nothing else to talk about. Mikey said he told Bob to go get Crawford back in the day. Yeah, he did. That's a fact. Crawford said Top Rank wanted him to stay at 40. Hold on. This shit moving fast now. Hold on. I missed some shit. Top Rank said he wanted to stay at 40. He said he been wanting to move it to 147. Yeah, he did say that. They probably didn't have nothing ready for him at 140. Semi-Crew Mikey said he told Bob. Yeah, that's true. He said Terrence Crawford outboxed him for like 12 straight rounds. He told Cameron Duncan, actually. He told Cameron Duncan. And Cameron Duncan actually was any great unsigned talent out there. And that's what happened. And Spencer's dodging his opponent, so dogging his opponent, so it makes the making his cult follow. Exactly. You stupid punchline. Punch code, bro. What's going on? Triple H. Big one. That's exactly what I got in the boxing. I'm from Houston. I found out about Charlo, so I've been fucking with her. Yep, I'm gonna tell you, and that's why a lot of motherfuckers getting into boxing, man. Especially a lot of these channels from Texas. And ain't nothing wrong with it, but like I say, man, it's a man for every Errol Spence channel. I done seen the Canelo channel. I done seen the Golovkin channel. I done seen the white supremacist / nationalist boxing channel. So I don't have no issues with these dudes creating their channels to back their fighters. That's what we need. But at the end of the day, I don't want to see people being hypocrites. I don't want to see people blasting the Canelo fanboy channels. I don't want to see people blasting the other fanboy channels. I mean, and trying to say you different. It's not different. We all got the same common goal, or y'all all got the same common goal, and that's pretty much to support your fighter. And I love that for black fighters. They need that. But don't come out here and say you different when you're not. Big CJ said earlier that nigga, even if Charlo and them lose, I still rock with them. That's real fan shit, man. Same thing with Canelo. Black fans, as soon as they got to lose, they act like it's over with. They don't want to fuck with them no more. Mexicans, man, still fuck with Chavez. They still fuck with Canelo. They still mess with Ron Estrada. They still gonna mess with Mikey. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Crawford needs to keep up the pressure on PBC top dogs next. for them fights. Yep. I don't care who wins or loses. I just want to see the best fight, the best across all the. Yeah, I don't care who win or lose neither, bro. I respect them if they just start taking these fights, bro. I respect them if they start taking these fights. That's my whole point, man. I want to see the best fight the best. And I'll support it. I pay for it. I go to a few fights. I get the shirts and shit like that, and I give some shirts away. I want to see the best fight the best. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Just make these fights happen. Why does damn Popeyes commercial come up? Popeyes be so damn good, bro. Man. Keith ain't trying to fight nobody with Manny on PBC board. You ain't lying. He's trying to fight Pacquiao. I'm a fan of boxing more than a fanboy of fighter. Yeah, I'm a fan of boxing first. Then I'm a fan of black fighters. You know what I'm saying? Now I have fighters that I like better than other black fighters. Don't get it twisted. They're from other nationalities, but that's what I like. I'm not for test, but I like Earl because of his style. Yeah, a lot of people like Earl because of his style. He come in your wheel. It ain't too many black sluggers out there. Before really Sean Porter came along, it wasn't that many black sluggers like that was in boxing that had that notoriety. And you had Wilder come, and you had Earl come. Timothy Bradley wasn't really considered a slugger because he didn't have no power like that. But Sean had a little bit more power than him. So like they really like Sean Porter and Errol Spence and Wilder, really ushered in an era for black sluggers to kind of reinvented or reintroduced the boxing. I think a lot of people like that, man. They like that black slugger and Errol Spence. They like them dudes that come in there and they slug it out because at the time you had Mayweather, pity pat. You had Alexander, who was a boxer. People identified Timothy Bradley as a boxer. Who else you had? Danny Jacobs was active then before he got cancer. He was a puncher, but a lot of people identify him as a boxer. So you know how it go. Yup, Squalla. People still love Broner. Flame 124. Popeye's got roaches. Yup, especially on grass shit. My niece, she working the one on grass. I'll tell her, hold the roaches. But yeah, let me get out of here. My laptop about to die, man. Appreciate everybody for coming in. I go live later on, man. This nigga Miles, this nigga sleep on my couch. He was snoring if y'all heard that nigga, man. I'm about to go let this nigga, I'm about to cook some food and let this nigga go play in the snow. He don't even know it. But I appreciate it. And everybody, don't forget, check out my Patreon, the link in the description. $2 for the boxing tier. I'm giving I got other raw and uncensored content on there. I'm giving this week I'm giving 5 days early access to my Broner and Pacquiao breakdown, and I'll probably say 48 hours or 2 days for my Badou Jack Marcus Brown prediction videos. Also, you get that raw and uncensored content on there. I dropped a couple of videos already. And if you went to my Food for Thought videos, you can check out the playlist if you're not familiar. And my Hood Series videos, you can check out my playlist if you're not familiar. I took that over to my a different tier to Patreon. That's $5, but it got a lot of good content, relationship advice, and a lot of stuff on there. A lot of stuff we deal with every day. Also, don't forget to check out my sponsor, The Hellblaze, at thehellblaze.com. The website in the description. Use the promo code Goodfella1Box to get 18% off. That links in the description. You like lotions, foot soaks, bath bombs, all natural products. Go check out thehellblaze.com. Once again, I appreciate everybody for checking in. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, hit the thumbs up button before you leave the building if you haven't done that. And I'm going to drop some more content, man. So y'all know I'm going to be active today, man. A little bit of boxing, a little bit of everything else. Also heard Kevin Love possibly could be traded to the Houston Rockets or the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think that's really contingent on if he get healthy. So I just wanted to let y'all know that real quick. But y'all know what it is. All my government officials who ain't getting paid through the shutdown, keep your head up. Don't vote for Trump. We gone.